What's up, man? How we doing? Should we get to it? What do you say? How are we? Welcome. Come on in, big dogs. We've got work to do. Got a whole bunch of work to do. ATR currently, we're sitting about, what, 31, 32 on a 5-minute? So I think we can get some stuff done. Hang out here, let you guys pop in. Man, we keep inching toward 30K. We're going to be there before we know it, my man. A little concerned about that if it becomes 25,000. Man, well, good morning, Brandon. How we doing? Major gains, big dog. Manuel says taking the third payout from the same TakeProfitTrader 150 in the last 5 days. Daily payouts, man. Isn't it nice? They approve it, you press a button, and it's in the bank. All right, let's pop to it. Let's pop to it. You know we've got shit to do. So let's see what we can get done. We are bar 41, 310 out. A little single bar sideways range here since 37, 38. Let's see. Yeah, man, well, it's nice, man, isn't it? Alex, Born Trader, Tina, how are we? How are we? Come on in. Now, you know I'm curious. Do we end up bouncing and pulling away, getting up through the wick high? Are you kidding me? Bar 33 again? Okay, if you were here every day last week, what do we see? Maybe 3 out of 4 days? The high of day locked in on the wick high of 33? Like in a row, 3 days? That's a 5-minute window, bar 33. Is this a coincidence? Is the question. I don't know. That's really interesting. Can we take trades off that idea? Probably not, but you know, it's something to think about. So that wick high of 33, high of day, if we can get up, bounce, take that out, maybe bigger soft bull channel with some deeper pullbacks. Got to be aware of that. But I got to tell you, I mean, this is looking like a big old range, right? I mean, at least since bar 23. So, let's see, man. Let's see. I kind of hope, best case scenario for me, I'd love to see us just tank downside. We get a whole bunch of back-to-back short setups. That could drive some P&L, so let's see if we can get that. Wired says, I think Nasdaq's pulling back to set up for a potential bullish trade. Maybe. Maybe, and if we get the setup, I'll hit it. But, you know, as it currently sits, it's really hard to deny trading range here. All right, there's the rollover, 41 into the open of 42. Obviously nothing on 41. Big sideways range. Come on, Bears. Come in and tank this son of a gun. Let's take out the low a day, man. Low a day is the wick low of 1. $30,000 is just, it's a little too attractive, isn't it? For this whole market. Seems like it can't stop till we at least test it. And then hopefully we don't get stuck around 30,000 for fucking 3 weeks like last time. at 25K. There you go, Bears. Tank it! Go! Get away from a single bar sideways range. We don't want that. Yeah, I think the market's curious about 30,000. It certainly feels that way. Man, right in the middle. Look, obviously this is the look. We don't want that. ATR 33, we do not want that. Honestly, I'd be cool with a break either way, but the issue with going upside is that we return to this range then. Probably get caught up in there for a while. Giovanni, how we doing? Biggie, my man. Alex Thomas, good afternoon. How are we? Bears tank this thing. Or Bulls, man, pop it. Whatever, get us away from 29.7. Well, you know, really nice movement, I will say, all morning. Let's hope we return to that kind of thing, man. Either direction is cool with me. Okay. All right, Bulls trying to take us out of the range here. See if they can. Well, what's up with you guys so far this morning? How we doing? Big green? If you're red, man, there's no shame in admitting that. Unless you went on tilt. Jonathan, sup big man, what would you say to new traders that feel lost currently? I would say, determine a methodology you're going to follow. Follow it to a T. Size down. Brute force patience and discipline for like 2 weeks. Which will rewire your brain to get dopamine not from taking gambly off-the-cuff trades, but from doing logical things. And then after a couple weeks, you'll have some sort of track record of improvement, most likely. And then it's like, you know, boom, now you can hang your hat on that. Because the problem is when you're a new trader, you're making completely random decisions. I mean, guys, you see the chat when there's new people in here, right? They're like, ha, getting short is the obvious answer right now. And it's like a bull trend. And someone will be like, why? Like, why do you say that? Like, I'm just curious. And then they just disappear. They're making random decisions because they're sitting short, so then they're going to go spread that narrative on the internet. They have no logical reason to be sitting short other than it's gone too far, which to me is kind of an illogical reason. Right, because we know probabilities sit on the extremes between 70 and 30%. Most of the time between 60 and 40 at the high end. And the vast majority of the time it's beneath 55-45 as far as, you know, probability of which direction things are going to go here in your intended trade duration. So in the early days, you're going to feel very, very lost. You're like, because you're making random decisions. Why would you have clarity? You're not going to have any track record. I don't know why you would expect to. Where do you expect to find consistency if you're just looking at a chart and saying, yeah, I feel like going short? It would be unreasonable for you to think that you're going to find consistent success, would it not be? So you have to have some kind of way of viewing the market that produces reasonably consistent decision-making based on what you're seeing. Which I would encourage you to pursue trading price action because it's truth, there is no middleman. And then once you're doing that, now what's in the way is your psychology. So you have to brute force discipline for like a couple of weeks until you feel better doing what you know you're supposed to be doing rather than off-the-cuff gambly decision-making for quick dopamine. This is the reality, man. Take it or not, doesn't change my life. But might drastically change yours. Whether or not you choose to take that advice, up to you, big dog. Orange Trader says, took a few stabs, followed all the rules, and bet on context every time, doing well. It's because you're doing logical things. And it becomes more and more probable you'll continue to do well if you continue to do that and not be emotional and, have a lack of discipline if you continue to understand the context and then make logical decisions based on that. Which, look, I get it. When I say that, it's like, from the viewpoint of a day one trader, you're like, logical decisions. What the fuck does that mean? Yeah, it means you assess the context. There's two buckets, range or trend. There's nuance in each bucket. You determine what the nuance is, and then you look to see if you're making a reasonable logical ask out of the market. Can you manage risk in a reasonable way? And then you follow one of, the many different setups that make sense within there. Which, I say many, but there's really not that many. Everyone knows my favorite, one of my favorites, in a continuation context, the regular 2 to 3 consecutive bar, stop limit entry, ram continuation trade. Some people think that's just what RAM is. That's not what RAM is. That's like one tiny piece of RAM that happens to be simple to understand, and people like to oversimplify because it makes them feel less insecure about what they're looking at, right? Well, trading can't be that simple. It can't just be one setup because the market isn't always giving us those, which we've seen. Which is why then, when I go to another bucket, okay, we're in a soft bull channel. I'm looking for kind of any reason to get long on a small to moderate bear body in the lower third of there if I can make sense of the reward to risk on it. Meaning the most recent curl is within reason and the reward potential is logical. So then I do that. And everyone who's trading RAM is like, yep, I know what he's doing. And then like the hard-headed folks are just like, what's he doing? That's not a RAM trade. I made RAM, big dog. RAM was built by me for me. It didn't have a name. Oh my, getting me all worked up on a fucking Thursday. We love it. Cole, what's up, big dog? News, how we doing? All right, Bears, let's get that done. Tank that son of a gun off a cliff. Let's go. Beauty, Bears. Man, can you imagine we just crashed this market today? You get the afternoon curl. See, those of you guys who haven't been trading that long, you might not have seen this before. But every once in a while, you get a day that looks nice and rosy. I'm not saying today's going to be that day. You know, it'd be nice, but I'm not saying it's going to be. There's no reason to believe that yet. Sometimes you get a day where the morning looks nice and rosy. Everyone's a little too comfy and cozy. You range, it's like, boring the rest of the day. And then the last 3 hours of the day, fucking crash. 1,000 points downside. And people who took an early day, they leave. They went to play tennis or whatever they do. They come back. They're like, oh, motherfucker, I should have stuck around. Can you imagine if we get that? Let's see. All right, bar 45. 450 out. Let's see what it brings. Sven, how are we? Good to see you. Now, you know, the big concern here, by the way, this is a single bar sideways range. The bull, they're gonna want to try to take it back in there. You know they're gonna want to. But every ounce the bears want to take it lower. Most of these breakout attempts fail. I personally would prefer if it didn't fail and we just went downside because it would give me more setups, but you know the bulls are going to have to give it a shot. We're trading the Nasdaq right now. This is a 5-minute chart. All right, Bears. Bulls had their attempt. You knock this son of a gun lower. Give me a nice clean close, maybe? Maybe? 2 minutes. 2 minutes till the close up here, bar 45. Nah, man, let's tank. Let's tank. Let's rip. Come on now. Let's light a fire, man. Down is the quickest way to get that thing rocking. ATR sitting 35. You know, the Bears are trying. Those Bulls, though, they're married to that single bar range. They're going to want to pull it back in. They already gave it a shot. Bears stepping in. Let's see if they can finish this thing. By the way, 25 seconds out here from the close. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. You know I got to go ahead and get that copy trader engaged. Pop that guy up. 10 seconds. Stop limit sell out and ready. Get it away from there. Boom, place him for the rollover. Now let's see if the Bears want to take it. Close. Close. They didn't gobble up the order. Let's see if they want it. If they don't want it, I don't want them, you know? Give it 15 more seconds here. Man, they got what, within one tick? Jeez. 5 seconds. You want it, Bears? Last second. Oh, baby, they took it. They took it. All right, Bears. Fine by me. All right. Sitting short. See if the Bears want this thing. ATR 36. Let's go dump that sucker. Nice and quick. Remember yesterday's trade? What did that take? About 5 seconds? Or one of yesterday's trades. Quite a few. Ridiculous. You kidding me? Keep pushing that thing, Bears. Good, good, good. Damn close. close. Real close. No cigar, not yet. ATR 39. See if the Bears can take one more run at this thing. Got real close here. So got a minute 50 left here on bar 46, by the way. Dump it. Coming into that 50% retracement zone. Maybe causing a little trouble here. Still feels a little early for that. There you go. Boom! Oh my goodness! Much better than a full ATR out there. I gotta let the copier flatten. It's a fucking mess. There we go. We're flat. God, day trading is so easy. You know what I mean? It's too fucking easy. Let's do something challenging, dude. I'm bored. I'm bored of making money. Oh, just kidding. Some of you guys are like, you fucking motherfucker. All right, let's see how 46 closes up. Now, I gotta tell you, we're coming right into the 50% retracement zone aggressively. A little hesitation around this area would not surprise me. It would not surprise me. So we're gonna get a rollover here on 46. By the way, especially after a move like that this morning, what is the 50% retracement spot? You have a lot of irresponsible traders out there, right? Right? On that bull move this morning, you had a lot of people averaging in short. Okay? And when you get back to the 50% zone, meaning on the day's range, you get about halfway. By the way, it's not exact, 40 to 60%. You start getting into the highest density of people's averages that were on the wrong side averaging in. On average, keyword. So what you end up getting is you get a lot of people like, thank goodness I can get out at break even, and that's buying pressure when they close their shorts. Okay, then you get this kind of thing. Hey man, if you haven't yet, if you made some money, hit the like button. Hit the like button. I appreciate you doing so. See, the hesitation. 50% retracement. Happens pretty consistently. Does it mean you're going to get a bounce there? Please don't take it that way. Please don't take it that way. It means it's logical to see some hesitation. That trade was about a second away from not happening. But it did. But it did, didn't it? Last second fill, man. Those bears. They're like, yeah, all right, fuck it, we'll take it. Well, I'm at daily goal in all of my Lucid fundeds. I'm at daily goal in my funded futures. So check and check. So I guess I'm trading Apex and take profit. I guess that's what we're doing. The last trade was in Apex. By the way, Apex, 90% off, baby. 90% off single day pass code BIG, B-I-G. And by the way, the 50K intraday drawdown accounts, the activation fee is discounted right now, down to 69 bucks. So you see, a full bar of hesitation, almost like we've seen this before. Almost like we've seen it before. Bar 48. Open it up. Let's see how 48 closes here. All right, let's take bets. Let's start shooting dice in the chat. Range, bounce, or dump. In the chat, range, bounce, or dump. Man, I'm gonna bet on dump, man. I'll take dump. By the way, if you take a trade off that, that's your fucking problem. We're just shooting dice. Yep, sideways. By range, I mean just go sideways here for, reasonable, long enough time to call it a range. All right, we got dump, dump, range, dump, bounce, bounce, dump, dump, bounce, bounce. It's kind of 50-50. 50-50. Someone says, bro, why you no sell? Good God. Did you just get here, big dog? What do you think I did on the close of 45? All right, 48. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Dump it, Bears. You motherfuckers. Let's go and stop hunt the wick low of 1. Let's do it to him. Low a day. Sedonia? How are we? Matty Matt? Javaz, big man. Someone says you looking for a short or a long? I'm looking for a setup. I'm looking for a setup. I don't care which direction as long as it's logical and fits my methodology. Bulls trying. They are trying. You know, we'll see if they can take out the wick high of 46, but until then, you got to think range, range, range. All right, we got about 4 minutes, 10 seconds left here on bar 49. See what these bulls got. Little hesitation to sustainably snap up that wick high of 46. It makes you wonder, are we just going to sideways range, or are the bulls actually going to take us back up to this region here? This big old area of interest, try to take out the high of day, which is the wick high of bar 33 every day for some reason. All right. So far, I'd say those of you guys who voted range are sitting all right. Those of you guys who voted bounce, you're making that attempt. And dump voters. I don't know, man. This is kind of up in the air right now. So far, I gotta tell you, range, kind of inside the hole of bar 46. But we'll see how this develops. Gamma, my man. All right, bar 49 here. We're rolling over into big bar 50 here in 5 seconds. There we go. There's the open of big bar 50. Let's see which way 50 wants to take us. So ATR has actually propped up since midday-ish, or since, you know, an hour ago. We're sitting at 39, which is actually pretty good for ATR this time of day on a 5-minute NQ. Now, you can see that the bears are just trying their ass off to hold this general region as a sideways range, but the bulls are really putting up a fight. If the bears are able to hold that, ATR is probably going to fall. All right, bulls trying to get up and out. John, Apex Funded, is there a price target or just need 5 winning days? Look up Apex Funded payout rules. They have a page that explains everything. Yeah, there's a buffer. Those of you guys who voted bounce, not looking too bad thus far, huh? All right, rollover of 50 into 51. Testing the 20 EMA, by the way. Javaz says, Nico, bought 4 TakeProfitTrader accounts yesterday using code BIG. Big dog. Yeah, TakeProfitTrader, that flash sale is this week only, so it's coming to a head. Half off, that's 50% off the rip. And then when you pass the test account, it is free. Free, motherfucker, if you used code BIG to activate the pro account. Everyone else is paying $130 to do just that. All right, you got that wick high of 45. Let's see. Well, you guys ready for a fun one here? This is low probability. Ready? Low probability. Pretty good reward to risk. I'm sitting short. Betting on the trading range. Stop right ahead of, right above 45. Quite low probability, real high reward to risk. Which, believe it or not, you can take stuff like that, you know what I mean? Alright, cut it. Let's watch 52. Let this thing flatten out, man. Alright, let's watch 52! The logic behind the short, it makes mathematical sense. And it does so in a way that confuses people. It gets them worked up. If I go really low probability, bet on a trading range, okay, most of them are going to get stopped out. But there's very high reward to risk. You don't understand that. I don't know if I can help you, to be honest. All right. Martin says, thing is, the range is up to 780. You don't trade the range in the middle of the range. I'll tell you what, you mind if I come over? You can teach me how to trade? Good Lord. You guys. I'm gonna start trolling your fucking ass. Taking shit you really won't understand. Alright, bulls. Bar 52. Let's see how we close up. I got the wick high at 43, wick high at 33. Things are getting kind of messy up here. You trade during the morning? Yep. Of course. All right, we got 3 minutes till bar 53 closes. Jack says, nice to watch you. Done for the day, up over 1,100 bucks. Thanks for the education, my man. My man, good work. All right, we got the wick high of 43 to watch, and you've got this whole thing to deal with. We have 4 minutes out here till the close of 54. Okay, now, as you come into a wick high like 33, stop hunting is a lot different than like the wick low of bar 1 of today, for example. It's often a lot less aggressive because you're coming into a range before that hunt rather than a hard wick curl. $2.15 out, by the way. Till 54 closes up, rolls over into the new bar. Bar 55. Beautiful. All right. All right, 55 closes, a little over 4 minutes here. All right, Bears. All right. That is starting to get close to outsized territory. It's not there yet on bar 55 here. Question, you're trading accounts by prop firm instead of copy trading everything all in one group. Is that risk management rules are different or something else? It gives me way more freedom to do it that way. And I'll tell you what, I'll copy trade props together or individually, whatever you want to do, dude. When I give myself more freedom to take intraday swings, day trades, and scalps, I fucking murder it. If that offends you because you're not doing well, sorry, but that's the truth. I'm fucking killing it when I give myself more freedom to scalp like a madman, take day trades, take intraday swings. I destroy it. Okay, so if I could trade everything at once, but that also restricts my freedom. So I say just trade a bunch of accounts at every firm, and if you're gonna be sitting here, then work. Right? Don't scalp like a madman if you're a beginner, though. You don't have the screen time to do well doing that. You are going to get wrecked. And that's not a dig. That's not a challenge. That's just reality. You need experience, so you should take it a little bit slower. Trade smaller, take more day trades, maybe intraday swings in the early days. And then over time, you develop screen time to be able to scalp effectively. And then you can just do whatever you want. If you want to trade everything in the same group, have at it, dude. All right, this bar is rolling over here. Range on this bar, 92 points, ATR 37. Yeah, coming into the lower end here, you got the, I'd probably draw like here. So keep an eye on 56, see what's up. Eats all stops at first and then fall. First high or low. All right, we'll see. We'll see if we continue falling here. We're getting stuck here around that close up of 55. Stuck here for a couple of minutes. Let's see. I'm very, very curious actually to see how we develop from here. This is, I mean, very clearly you could draw this a number of ways. You could draw it like this. I would draw it like this, probably, to be honest with you at this point. One of those two ways, probably just like that. So, you know, we're sitting down sort of in the lower third of a sideways range. You could, if you wanted to, it's a little early. Start drawing this. I always say if you can draw too many things at once, the answer is usually boom. Right? So let's see here. $56. Come on, man. Bulls, Bears, anybody? Is anybody home, man? 4 minutes out. 57 doing a whole bunch of nothing. There you go, Bulls. Let's do it to them. If you were to take a scalp, would you put a short? Would you put a short buy off the bottom of candle 55. What do you mean by short buy? Do you mean a quick buy scalp? Are you trying to say stop limit entry? I don't know what you mean. If you're asking, could there be buyers below 55 and then you risk the wick low of 48, is that logical? All that is a bet on the range. Which, sure, would be logical. Is it the greatest trade ever? No, but it's logical. Well, you know, ATR being propped up quite a bit by bar 55. ATR, which is the average range here of 5-minute NQ bar, based on the last 10 bars, so it's a more recent number. The average is 40 points. Yeah, again, it's being propped up a lot by 55, but that's pretty good this time of day. I will say, though, that this with this range action, the last, 9 minutes being completely inside the bottom half, effectively, of bar 55, it feels a little slow, but it's not slow. It definitely feels that way. So let's see if we can get away from this range. The more the range widens out, the more it kind of frees us from that constraint anyway. All right, there's the rollover, 57 into 58. Coming right into the 20, which is sort of bottom of the barrel relevance, but worth mentioning, I suppose. Let's see here. All right, chat, do you guys think we see 30,000 by the end of the week on NQ on Nasdaq? 30K by the end of the week or no? Obviously, that's the rest of today and then into tomorrow's close. We're only 300 points away. Which, it sounds crazy, but we moved 300 points this morning. Curious where everyone sits on that. Yep, 30K, no, yes. End of day, yes, yes. All right. I really don't think it's crazy to say that at all. If we could get above the wick high of 33, which it's just nuts. It's been the wick high of 33. Like every day we've had price action like this, it's always bar 33 for the last week. But if we could take out the wick high of 33 and then kind of like slow fade into the close today, it'd make that a hell of a lot easier for overnight and tomorrow. Someone says, hey, you think it dumps below 660? Are you sitting short? Let me guess, you're sitting short. Well, for your sake, buddy, I hope it does. I hope it does, but we're in a big trading range, so you know. Well, damn, bulls, bears, come on now. We're still sitting at 39 here on the ATR. It's feeling kind of slow. I mean, it's not. You know, you compare it to back here, we're kind of spoiled right now, but we're greedy. We want volatility. Man, if ATR is not 75, we're pissed. All right, guys. Hey, give me 2 minutes. I will be right back. Don't you go anywhere. All right, welcome back. What's up? This is that time of day. We've seen this. This is that time of day where the market's really trying to decide. Now, the default of indecision is sideways range. But the market's really trying to decide, like, do they just fulfill this prophecy here and turn this into more of a bear trend, shoot for low a day? Or maybe not get there. Or what we've seen happen more often when we get this exact price action for the last... This has got to be what, the 4th or 5th day we've seen this kind of thing in the last, like, week and a half? Sounds about right. We come back up and kind of slowly try to test high a day, which is just so happens to be the wick high of 33. Nico, can you trade different prop firm evals on Tradevate using the copy trader at the same time? I think you'd have to use different instances, which is what I do. So I use the software. Look, the software and the web-based version, they're pretty similar. but the software is a little bit less stuff because you're getting rid of the browser part of the window, right? Like the Chrome part. So it seems to be a little cleaner with the software, but the software, you know, has its own issues with like updating in real time and stuff with accounts. But what you should do is you can either use a third-party copier, but I would encourage you to use a third-party copier in NinjaTrader. I use Affordable Indicators over there. And then for TradeAvate, to trade different prop firms, again, with the same prop firm, just group them. Just group the accounts in TradeAvate. But with different prop firms, just run different instances of the software. So you just open it, log in with each, open it like 3 times or whatever, log in with each different login, and then do it that way. That works totally fine for me. Javaz, Nico, done for the day. All 29 accounts ended green. Thanks for the guidance. Really appreciate everything I'm learning from your streams. Javaz, my man. The biggest of big dogs here today, Mr. Javaz. Trading bars, okay? They say, okay, I have a funded next, and I'm about to go get TakeProfitTrader using code BIG, of course. Yep, great deal over at Take Profit, 50% off, and no activation fee at all, which is $130 when you use code BIG. That's this week only, BIG. Go hit it. Daily payouts. Daily payouts. Manuel here from the chat will tell you, it's nice. It's nice. You click that button, it's in your account. And you know what? If especially, this is why I always encourage people, you should probably start with Take Profit if you have to pick one. That's what I would do. Because getting that money in quick is not only nice, it's necessary. All right, bar 60 rolling over here, about 5 seconds out. There's the open of 61. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? This is turning into a pretty aggressive, just straight up sideways wedge. Let's see which way we end up breaking here. You know we will. All right, bulls. You want to tiptoe up? Let's test that high a day. Wick high of 33. I gotta tell you guys, I'm excited and also pissed about 30K. We know what tends to happen when we get to those, it's been so good lately. Oh my God, the last week, it's been tremendous. And I'm just a little concerned that 30K is gonna end the party. I hope we don't spend too much time around 30K, but let's see. It's coming and we know it's coming. Yeah, news, it's gonna be sticky, my man. You know it will be. Let's hope not for 3 weeks. And you know what? If we reject off 30K and just tank, oh, beautiful. Beautiful. We'll procrastinate on 30,000. We want volatility now. We got to make money now, my man. Tank to 22,000. Oh, Jesus. Mango, it worked for you? You at least got out? You were sitting short? What was it? 29,660 or something? Well, ATR is still sitting 36. We're holding on. Yeah, you know, honestly, you look at a daily chart, it's like a nice big dump in NQ. You got to remember, you know, we're day traders. Okay, so when I say that, you got to remember the market cannot go up straight up forever. Right? Unfortunately, that's unsustainable. We love it, but it's unsustainable. So it's healthy to have pullbacks, volatility, even some crashes sometimes. It's healthy. It sucks, you know, it hurts people. It's not great. But for the entire ecosystem, it is healthy to have those big corrections, those emotional times in the market. We are day traders. Okay, so when I say, you know, if we could see the market crash, it would be tremendous. You have to have them. You know, I don't know what world you live in, but you have to have those. So that creates volatility. The quickest way to light a fire under the market's ass is to have that thing crash. Volatility skyrockets. It creates a lot of opportunity for day traders who size themselves appropriately for the volatility. And you know what it also does? It creates opportunity, allows you to generate revenue. And then you take that revenue, and at lower prices, you bet big on America. So, you know, I mean, is it such a great thing all around if the market's crashing? No, of course not. But, you know, you kind of got to look at it like an adult and say, okay, this is healthy. It has to happen. It's going to happen and will continue to happen forever. So if it's going to happen, I might as well take advantage of it for me and my family. Right? And make it a positive thing. Take everything negative in your life, turn it, you can find the positive. It's in there somewhere. So if the market crashes, boom, more volatility, good for day traders. The worst thing for us day traders is volatility dies and ATR goes to 6. Worst thing. So if we can have a lot of volatility during a market crash, you can make a lot of money during that period of time. Then you're presented with what? Low prices across the market. And then you take some of that revenue, and ideally with cash only, not necessarily margin, and you go shopping. You buy, you make bets on America wherever you see fit, and you wait. And you wait. Go back to trading in the meantime. I shouldn't have to say it, but you know someone's out there. Not financial advice. How cringe, the YouTube thing. Alright, you bulls. What do you think, man? These are really slowing down, by the way. We had ATR at 40 not too long ago. It's now sitting just below 34. Well, basically at 34. Man, look at this wedge. This is kind of gnarly, huh? That's what that is. Let's see which way this thing breaks. Yeah, now's the time. Hey, chat. It's got to break one way or the other before the market close. I mean, we got an hour 20 out, you know, till the close. We've got time. Up or dump? What are we thinking from here? Up, dump, 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 dump. Dump. Mario says, remember, wedges are 50-50. Damn straight, Mario. It's not going to stop us from taking bets. We're shooting dice, big dog. But it will stop me from taking trades. All right, Bulls. What do you say, man? Let's pump this thing. Let's do it to him. Born Trader says we're just degenerates around here. Damn straight. We're degenerates in, we're kind of like pretend degenerates. We like to cosplay being degenerates, and then deep down we're all just kind of like nerdy little responsible traders. But isn't it fun to pretend? You know, most people are the opposite. They're actually just degenerates. Role-playing being serious day traders. I'll take our side any day. All right, bar 63. Yep, you got an inside close on 62. Inside the body of 61. This is really now, this is a very tight wedge. Very, very tight wedge. Hey man, if you haven't yet, I appreciate you hitting that like button on the live stream. Or dislike, big dog! You know how we do it. Alright, Bears. You got something for us? What's up? Apparently not much. All right, little bear fake out. Pump it. Dump it. Any of the above. Volatility is nice and we need some. We're gonna pick a direction and go. It's just a matter of time here. The tighter this thing gets. By the way, any of you guys, it's been a great week, hasn't it? At least price action wise. And by the way, I don't like when people say stuff like that, because that a certain, probably high percentage of the audience, I don't know what percentage, I don't know, but is like, yeah, thanks a lot, dude. I've been trading like shit all week. Thank you for saying that it's been such a great week, you fucking asshole. Right. But I will say, the price action has been good. I don't think you can really deny that, even if you haven't been, performing the best. But I know a lot of you guys have been doing very, very well. You've been telling me such. Anyone taking first-time payouts? Maybe new record payouts? Maybe record frequency of payouts? Man, pop it in the chat. Brag about that shit, dude. This is really hard. This is really hard. You should be humble in life, but around here you should be fucking proud of what you've accomplished, because this is not easy. Let us know, big dog. Gabriel, hand is raised. News up to 5 fundeds. Good work. Good work. Keep scaling that thing, my man. Keep doing it. We love it. Sky hit my highest single day payout for 5.1K. STK, first 5K this week on 150. I assume you mean the 150K accounts, or are you trading 150 accounts? Either way, man, good work. Good work. Sky doing close to 10K this week in payouts. Good work. DK, 2 funded, trying to scale it to 5, my man. Elevated. Elevated, big dog. Trading bars. Nico, $200 away for my first funded. I want to scale horizontally. Do I stop trading the funded once I get it and buy an eval and trade that only, or do I copy trade both at the same time? Ooh. You can definitely trade your funded and copy trade the eval on the side, maybe with a little bigger size, because the quality of the trades will be there. What I wouldn't do personally is trade the eval and copy trade the funded to the eval. Because when I'm trading an eval, I'm in a different headspace. I traded, some evals last Wednesday, maybe? It's different. It's different. It's just, it's more aggressive, it's looser. And I think for fundeds, it's not necessarily the best case scenario. When you're ROI positive, the evals are kind of just a cost of doing business. You just got to get through them. A time cost, I mean. What I would probably do is I would focus on your funded. This is what I would do. Focus on the funded. Maybe trade the eval, copy trade it with, not like huge size or anything. Just to get some trades locked in. And then when you're done on the funded for the day, you can go back and, assuming price action is reasonable, you can hit it a little harder with the eval only. Booze Corner says, I have a master's degree in music, CDL license, teacher of many years. They say, Nico, because of you, will have first payout from Take Profit Trader because of your streams. Let's go, big dog. You know what, Booze? You know what? You did it. I didn't trade the accounts. Good work. Good work. Keep killing that shit, my man. Well, we are currently in a quite tight sideways little range. ATR is holding on for dear life. It's at 34 here on the ATR on a 5-minute NQ. Born Trader says, was a music producer and ran a studio for about 10 years. Got into film, TV, post-production. That's cool, man. Used to being alone in a cave, love trading. Yeah, man, trading, for someone like you, trading is a beautiful occupation. Beautiful. I enjoy it. All right, Bulls. All right, Bulls. We got the wick high at 58. Let's go. Get up and go. We've got work to do, Bulls. Little trading range. Bears kind of tried the same thing. Boom, right back into the wedge. Bulls trying. See if the Bears take us right back into the wedge. What do you guys think? We heading up? Chat, what's up? Wick high at 33. High a day. We heading up there here in Power Hour? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so we were dealing with this wedge, right? Now, you gotta ask this question. Just draw it. Sloppy. You know, you gotta ask the question of that sideways range, which, you know, kind of still the wedge. It's not an exact science, it's just the average of like 100,000 people in algos, right? The sloppier you draw it, the less you think about it, I think the more effective the look even becomes. All right, 65 closes, 66 opens. The trading range stays put. I would describe this honestly more of a range than a wedge at this point. Nico, question. I've gotten to my first payout using micros instead of minis. Minis still make me nervous. Is that a normal part of learning? They scare the shit out of me right now. Well, I mean, they should, because they're too big for most people, and like especially a 50K funded. They're just too big. Now, you know, if you're like scalping around in a 50K, and you've been at this a long time, you're very ROI positive, and you want to use a mini, dude, have at it. But to get to first payout and like first, you know, 20 payouts plus territory, I really think you should just trade the micros. I think you're going to be a lot better served doing that. Not only is it a lot less emotional, but it leaves you a lot more room to handle regular drawdown. Yeah, in 50K, typically I'd recommend like 2, maybe 1 to 5 micros. For most traders, that's going to be the sweet spot. Depending on volatility, of course. Alright. 3 minutes. 3 minutes, by the way. Till 66 closes up. They say, yeah, that's what I thought. Just get so emotional losing $85 per account instead of 500. That's what I've been doing, 2 micros. Dude, people underestimate. See, you've seen what I've been preaching now, right? People underestimate, like, you can get to a payout in a reasonable, or lots of payouts in a reasonable amount of time, trading like 2, 3, 4 micros. It's not that big of a deal. I get it. It's like, I want to trade a mini because I'm a big boy. I don't know, dude. Maybe a big boy would trade the micros and just have a higher level of certainty that they're going to reach that payout threshold. And to be fair, how big of a boy really are you if you get super emotional losing one trade because you're trading a mini and you're like, I can't afford that. Can't afford to lose that much on one trade. Then trade the micros, dude. You're good. You're good. Now, most people won't do that. I don't know if it's ego or impatience, whatever, but how bad do you really want to get to payout territory? If you haven't been there yet, man, trade, hey, 1 to 5 micros. Maybe trade, 2 or 3 micros. After a few days, it's like, whatever. This is just what I trade now. It's fine. Nico, can you explain what happens? Yeah, the bar rolls over. So when I said 3 minutes, now we're at 40 seconds. 66 will close. The new 5-minute bar opens, which will be bar 67 of the day. Booze says, yeah, Pride says that I can trade a mini. Found out quickly I can't. You know what? If your style is more day trade, intraday swing style, that's not even your fault. The prop, it's just not giving you enough drawdown. You might have no issues at all trading a mini in a personal account if it was big enough to handle that, right? But it's just in the prop space, like a 50K funded, they give you a certain level of drawdown, depends on the firm, right? But a couple $1,000, it's just, if you're holding for more points and giving it more risk, like a day trader, intraday swing trader would, as opposed to meaning like a hyper scalper, like Theo here, it's just not enough room. That's not even your fault. It just is what it is. So trade appropriately, the size that you can handle in that account. Not necessarily you, but just in that account, which might for you mean micros, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, you guys, your family doesn't care. They don't care when the payouts hit the bank account. They're like, wait, but did you trade minis or were you trading micros like a bitch? No, they're like, thank you for working so hard and providing so well for our family. We appreciate you. They don't even know what that means, minis or micros. So, like, hang it up. Just trade the size that's necessary, Spicy says, wife left me when she found out I traded micros. Yeah, I mean, can you blame her, man? She didn't realize she was with such a pussy, Big ol' range! Come on, man. ATR's down to 30, by the way. We were just at 40 not too long ago. All right, man. We're rolling over into Power Hour 203. I'm not done. Give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back. All right. What's up, man? Welcome on back. Roy, the song that's currently on, is that the one you can't stand? I'm going to leave it on. I'm just going to start playing copyrighted music at this point. All right, bears, man, come on, somebody. Somebody, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? We're gonna reject here, put in another lower high, fade? Maybe. Got that wick high of 33 and 30,000 on the agenda here. You know the market wants it. All right, man, power hour, let's go. Come on now, we need some volatility. We're 9 minutes in. That ain't shit happening. 30 seconds out here till the rollover of 68 into big bar 69. All right, 69 here looks 68, closing as a big old doji. Bunch of nothing on 68. ATR, by the way, falling into the 20s. We're at 27 now on the ATR. Volatility coming down. Man, best case scenario right now, because you know with all that overlap up near the high of day, the wick high of 33, with all that price action interest up there, I'm sorry, the trading range price action, if we could just curl, light a fire, and man, dump, that'd bring volatility back. That would be a real power hour. If we continue higher, which, again, I mean, you know 30,000's on the agenda. How could it not be? The question just becomes when and how soon. That might be a slow grind. You know, we could see it teleport overnight, but into end of day, you still got all that action ahead of the wick high of 33. It's like, if we're looking for opportunity here in the next 30 minutes, let's just curl, man. Head downside. Looks like the Bears might have hurt us, man. All right, 300 points. Let's go. There you go, Bears. What do you say? Keep that pushing? I don't mind that at all. A little bit of wick back right around that 20 EMA, kind of the middle of the range region, rolling over, bar 70 opening up. See if they can try to take out the wick low 69, which takes us back toward the middle of this kind of bigger sideways. It's a sloppy trading range, but it's kind of a trading range nonetheless. A lot of price overlap, right? Tubed out. Oh, yeah, man. It's been a great day so far. Afternoon, definitely a little sideways action here, but we got 30 minutes to clean that up. Price action, that is. Let's see if the Bears can just take us lower. Well, you know, ATR, we're hanging on. It's not like it's, 10. We're sitting at 29, the average range here in points of a 5-minute bar. So volatility's not bad. It's just so much overlap here where this market needs to pick. All right, 20 seconds. We're going to roll over into 71. This market's going to pick a direction and push 80 points. What do you say? Let's wake everybody up, dude. This is slow. Slow, slow, slow. All right, guys, you know what? This is really, really slow at this point. I'm going to go hit lunch. I think I'm going to call it. It's been a really great, well, week, including a little bit of last week. Let's hope, you know, if we do see 30,000 tomorrow, I think we might get some insight into how we're going to react around 30K. With levels like that, if you're able to even hang on to them for any period of time, they tend to become very sticky. Okay, which is not great. So, we'll see. We'll see. Ideally, maybe we could just... I feel like popping through and just running all the way through feels unsustainable with the run that we've had. So, either, you know, maybe we reject off and pull in, make a big old pullback. I imagine we're probably going to get stuck around 30,000 for a little while. We'll see if we even have to deal with that tomorrow here. Maybe even overnight tonight. We'll see. All right, guys. I'm out of here. I will see you tomorrow. Big Pharaoh Friday. Again, hey, the flash sale at TakeProfitTrader, code BIG, 50% off. No activation fee. Apex, same code, code BIG, 90% off. Single day pass. All right, guys, let's close out the week strong tomorrow. See you soon.